Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. This article and report comes to you guys from Ookla. I will leave a link to it in the description so you guys can check it out, and I highly encourage you to check it out. There's regional speed results. There's a market speed results, so I highly encourage you guys to check it out. So, Ookla just dropped its speed data or a speed connectivity report as late as June. So this one is more up to date. So let's check it out. But I will preview for you guys T-Mobile One once again. So nothing has changed just yet, but we'll get into the numbers here as we go through this video. So there's the market performance, and from a mobile perspective, right? This is the fastest mobile network. That's the overall networking between 5G and LTE. And as you will see, T-Mobile's still in the lead. T-Mobile is in the lead at a speed of 205.98. Verizon in second place at 112.28. And AT&T in third at 107.77. So what I will say, right, T-Mobile quite a large lead. If you look at the overall network, that means LTE and 5G. There's other factors to take into consideration, I will acknowledge. Yes, T-Mobile still has the larger network. So where Verizon has speed tests that may be slower, T-Mobile is not doing anything at all. So those averages are not factored in. Keep that in mind. But for the most part, where T-Mobile does have coverage and they match coverage of the competitors, 9 times out of 10, T-Mobile is likely to be faster. So let's look at the fastest 5G network. T-Mobile wins that again. And this is as late as June. So T-Mobile is at 228.24 megabits per second. Verizon at 191.56 megabits per second. And AT&T in third at 131.63 megabits per second. What I will say, again, Verizon is closing that speed gap on the 5G side. So that's the C-band deployment. So I'll recommend in this video, if you are on a Verizon device that's still LTE only, I highly encourage you guys to get a 5G device. That's where it is. That's where it's at for Verizon. That C-band network that they're deploying at a rapid pace is really where it's at. T-Mobile has been deploying 2.5 for a very long time now. 2 years ahead of anyone else. And look how fast Verizon is closing the speed gap. If you round up, Verizon is 28 megabits behind T-Mobile. It's a little bit more, like I said, if you round up. But it's about 28. If you don't round up, it's about, 38, 39 maybe. So they're closing the gap quickly. Now, like I said in the video yesterday, T-Mobile has a lot to announce early fall that's going to probably accelerate, not probably, but it will accelerate everything that they're currently doing and should further extend T-Mobile's lead. But I'll let T-Mobile talk in early fall and let you guys see everything that they got going on over the next few years. So let's check most consistent network. T-Mobile also in the lead, 86.6%. Verizon second, 83.3%. And AT&T in third at 80.8%. Video experience, T-Mobile in the lead at 77.78. Verizon second, 74.68. AT&T in third at 72.23. The gaming experience, again, T-Mobile in the lead, 86.67. Verizon in second, 84.76, and AT&T in third at 83.23. And then the consumer sentiment, I don't really know. I guess it's rated out of 5 stars. I don't know how they're tracking this. I think during the speed test, it's those stars and the rating that comes up at the bottom for those of you who have seen it. So I guess Ookla is also adding that into their report. So T-Mobile in the lead at 3.73, Verizon in second at 3.29, and AT&T in third at 3.14. So there's a trend going on, right? T-Mobile is leading and has been in the lead for quite some time. Verizon seems to be in that second place. They're closing the gap on the 5G speed. The overall speed, that's still a lot to be desired, but it's still plenty fast, right? 112.28, that's still plenty fast. You should still have a solid experience on that speed. Also, another thing to point out, which we've seen over the last several reports, AT&T is dropping off. They seem to be in third place for most of these reports now. That's kind of the trend that we're starting to see, that AT&T is coming in third place on all of this testing. So we'll monitor the other testings as well as RootMetrics and OpenSignal, but that's the trend, right? AT&T is starting to come in behind the T-Mobile and Verizons of the world. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'd like to hear from you guys. Again, I recommend you highly recommend you get a 5G device if you're on Verizon. That's where the speed is. If you're still on LTE only, or if you're in an area that doesn't have C-band yet, or that doesn't have the required densification to make C-band continuous in coverage, the drop-off is going to be steep, right? Verizon doesn't have the best holdings after C-band. So if they don't have the densification built in, they are still, unless it's CBRS, they are still riding on spectrum for a long time, right, during LTE, where they had the lowest spectrum per customer. They had the largest base with the lowest amount of spectrum. And once you're falling off a C-band, that's the spectrum you're connecting to. So yes, in some cases it's still plenty fast, as I mentioned, and CBRS is really helping boost that experience on the LTE side. But of course, it's not high power, so you have to be within a certain range. But man, that 5G network, the C-band that they're building, Verizon is building that out furiously because they know their assets. Of course, they know their spectrum position. So they're building in densification required. They're going to add C-band onto the small cells as quickly as they can to give its customers the experience that they expect. T-Mobile, the trend, again, they are in the lead. Some are saying, per articles, they can't be beat. Of course they can be beat, but like I said, we'll see what they announce early fall. They have a lot to say. And overall, their network is the fastest by a long shot. 5G, they are still the fastest, but Verizon is closing in. So you can kind of see the difference in the assets. Verizon is overall slower than T-Mobile by quite a lot, once you include the LTE asset, which is clearly not the best. And then you go to 5G, where the C-band position is arguably by some debated to be the best position to be in, as it's contiguous across the nation. And you can see that they're quickly closing the gap on the speed. Right? They might not clip T-Mobile based on what T-Mobile is going to announce in early fall and them accelerating everything. But the difference, even today, let's look at it briefly. Right? Even just that difference right there, it's virtually closed. The gap is closed. You're not going to have, on the 5G side, there's not something on the T-Mobile network that you're going to be able to do with that speed that you can't do with the Verizon speed. Even capacity-wise, right, for FWA, Verizon is right there, so they're not that far off. So if they get faster than T-Mobile, so be it. That could happen. Even after what T-Mobile announces in the fall, Verizon could still surpass them in speed. It's very possible. But regardless, it's competitive. It's getting good. T-Mobile is probably going to invest more in early fall because they see Verizon coming quick. So that'll further accelerate and just make it better for the consumer. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe if you are new. Follow my social media outlets. This is Tyrone with Tech Live. See y'all in the next one. Peace.